It is a football easy.
No, I don't. Be the ball there.
Watch it easy.
No, Jordan, the ball I don't go play. But running there I go fit.
You don't go play.
My ball, me I don't go fit play.
But ball running there.
No, but you know, man. They get technical passes that is.
Technical. Okay, this is about. Technical pass.
Oh, technical passes. You have to.
No problem.
Professional. Before.
So that was Jordan Ayew at the start there, jokingly talking about how difficult playing football is. Jordan is in town and training in Ghana, preparing for the next season. We'll see where he ends up. Yesterday we spoke about him. Yeah. So we'll see where he ends up. Today we're going to talk about two Ghanaian players who are in the transfer news: Kamaldeen Sulemana and Thomas Partey. We think we saw the news this morning on Partey confirmed he's leaving.
Yeah. I mean, it is sad that at the end of the day, Arsenal and then Thomas Partey couldn't agree
on
a deal.
Something. Yeah.
The reason being that there is the FIFA World Cup coming next season, and would want to see Partey playing
regularly.
In some of the top leagues in the world. But then it's not over yet. I mean, there are reports that he's been linked with clubs in Spain and then even Italy. And just last week there were also reports that Fenerbahce are interested in his services, and so it's not all over yet. Hope that he joins a club that will be competitive in Europe, and then that could also affect our chances going into the World Cup year.
We'll see. We'll talk about that today. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. Click on that notification bell to get more updates. Before we delve more into Thomas Partey and Kamaldeen Sulemana, who is in advanced talks with Atalanta for a 17 million euro deal, the Club World Cup has seen Chelsea progress, some would say, to the easier half of the branch in the brackets that is going into the knockout phases. Do you think Chelsea can go all the way before we go into the transfer news?
Well, I mean, you look at their route and it looks like a possibility.
Yeah, they can go to the final.
Yeah, they can actually go to the final. You look at the upper side of that particular route. There is Palmeiras and then Botafogo.
No disrespect to them.
Yeah, no disrespect to them. I mean, they've been fantastic at this competition. But then, of course, Chelsea has some level of pedigree, and let's not forget they've won it before, and so it is also an added.
They've lost it before too. Brazilian side. 2012. So anything is possible.
Yeah, anything is possible.
The Club World Cup is ongoing. The knockout phases start this weekend. Today we'll get more of them. There are only 6 slots left out of the round of 16. So we'll see which teams make it into the round of 16. Without much ado, let's get into Thomas Partey. And as you already know, Arsenal and Partey, there were negotiations, deliberations on whether he should stay or not. He has come to a conclusion that he is more or less out of the door. Christian Norgard is the one that is going to be replacing him. Not that anyone can replace Partey, but Arsenal look like they want to get rid of Partey. Is that something that we can say? It's like they want to get rid of him, considering the fact that he has been a key figure for them. Are you surprised by this?
Well, I mean, not entirely, because last season when you monitor how Mikel Arteta was using Partey, you could sense that he is preparing for Partey's departure. Because there were times that you wouldn't understand why Thomas Partey will be playing in that right back role when we all know his best position was in midfield. There were moments that you thought Partey should be starting these games, and then he was kept on the bench. And so, there are some that are saying that it was a way of managing Partey, but then last season we saw Partey make over 50 appearances for Arsenal across all competitions, and so it wasn't really about managing him. It was about trying to find a solution in terms of
life without him.
Yeah, in terms of life without him and the current situation he finds himself now. And we've already had names coming in as replacement. You've already mentioned Christian Norgard. Earlier they signed Martin Zubimendi, and so these are players that are brought in to replace Thomas Partey. I mean, not that he can't be replaced, but then we all know how important he was for them last season. I mean, for the first time they got to the US for the first time in 2 decades.
16 years.
16 years.
Yeah,
right,
the last time they were in the semi-final was 2009, Manchester United. I remember. So 16 years.
So it tells you that his input was very, very important to their campaign last season. But then, I mean, he's 32 now. He's getting to the twilight of his career. I understand he would want to make sure that he ends on a very high, not just in terms of the place he places, but he plays, but then also you also look at it from a financial point of view.
Yeah. Arsenal feel that he costs them too much.
Yeah. He's really he takes around over 200,000 pounds a week as his wages, and so he would be looking at all those things and then thinking, look, maybe this is the time for me to also make a move. And let's not forget, he's also spoken highly of his family being part of the decision that he makes. Maybe if it was him alone, he would have settled for that,
for the
and then
salary reduction.
And then stay. But then, I mean, it's all good. I still feel he's got a few more years in him to play in Europe's top leagues. I mean, even if not the Premier League, he could return to Spain. There are teams in Italy that would want his services. Like Fenerbahce is a team that plays in the UEFA Champions League, a very big team in Turkey. And so if he ends up moving there, it is not a bad move at all. And for me, his regular play would affect the performances of the Black Stars at the end of the road.
So looking at, you said he has a chance to play with top European sides. Where should he go next?
Well, I mean, I still want him to remain in Europe. Let's also not forget that there are clubs in Saudi Arabia that are very interested in Thomas Partey. There were reports of Al Hilal. I've also heard names like Al Nasri being mentioned as a potential destination for him, Thomas Partey. But then what I'm thinking is that he's just 32. 3 or 4 more years to play in Europe will be ideal. At the highest level will be ideal for a player like Thomas Partey. In the last few years, we've seen him manage himself very, very well. I mean, a whole Thomas Partey comes for vacation and he's still training.
He's
trying to make sure that he stays fit and playing all the time. Exactly. So for me, I think he would be staying in Europe. He wouldn't be moving to the Middle East like he keeps on saying. He thinks he will be competitive. And for me, that is good for us.
Give me 2 clubs you think he can join here, realistically.
I'm looking at Juventus. I think Juventus will be a very good move for Thomas Partey. They have a very good side. They have a side that needs some form of experience, and Thomas Partey could afford them that. I'm also looking at a team like Barcelona. Look, from all that we saw last season, there was a point that Barcelona were having a very rough patch, and then if you look at a player that could have been
held
able
things
to
together,
exactly, would have been Thomas Partey, and he knows the Spanish league very, very well. He's won it before. He's played over 100 games in La Liga with Atletico Madrid. A return to Spain will be very, very good. Maybe he could also be returning to Atletico Madrid, but then the teams, as you asked, if there are 2 teams that I want him to join, or
Barcelona,
I foresee him joining Barcelona and Juventus.
Yeah. Wow, that's quite interesting. We wish Thomas Partey all the best. He's set to leave the Gunners on the 30th of June. He becomes a free agent. We hope he gets a move to a big side. Another player making a move to a big European side after his side's relegation, Kamaldeen Sulemana. It's reported that advanced talks, and it's almost done, 17 million euros from Southampton to Atalanta, where the likes of Ademola Lookman and also Ghanaian Ibrahim Sulemana play their football on a regular basis. What does this move mean to this Ghanaian youngster here? Kamaldeen has not been fit, struggling for performances, in and out of relegation battles. I hope this gives him some consistency. What do you think?
Well, I mean, for me, I would just sum it up like it is a very, very good move. He is a lucky player if this happens. I mean, for a player that cost Southampton their highest record transfer signing, 22 million pounds, and then for him to come to Southampton and things not work the way
they should,
the way they should. Like you mentioned, he's had problems with injuries. His fitness hasn't always been
the best
up there. But then under Ivan Juric's time at Southampton, we saw him play some of his best football. I mean, I saw him against Manchester United, and it was a day that Lenny Yoro would always want to forget.
He was turning him inside out.
Kamaldeen Sulemana embarrassed him on that day, and so it tells you to the kind of talent he has. He's absolutely good. He's electric when he's on the ball. He's got all the talent. I think there are a few things that he would have to add to his game to make him a polished player.
Most important of all, keeping fit.
Exactly. Most important of all, keeping fit. He's just 23, 24. 22 actually.
22.
Yeah, so there is a lot of football in him. I'm happy that Atalanta is working all they can to make sure that he joins them. What it means is that he would be getting some UEFA Champions League football next season.
And
that'll
be good for him.
Yeah, I always like to see Ghanaian players playing in the UEFA Champions League. And for a club like Atalanta, I mean, he brings in a lot in terms of quality. I mean, joining a player like Ademola Lookman will add some threat to the attack. I mean, Matteo Retegui is in his mid-30s, and so you would want to get players who would be able to fight for a position and then keep players like Retegui competitive in the team. And for me, that is good. And it also tells you that Juric has a plan for him. He is not just joining Atlanta, he's joining a coach that also knows what he can bring to the team. And so for me, that will be a very, very good move. All he has to do is to make sure that he stays fit
and plays regularly. We wish Kamaldeen Sulemana all the best. These two big moves are what we are going to highlight today. The round of 16 fixtures are set to begin this weekend. More games today and tomorrow. Then we'll have the full complement of all the fixtures in the Club World Cup here. It's going to be an interesting tournament. We are in the business end of the competition. Let us know your thoughts in the comments box on the big moves. Thomas Partey set to leave Arsenal. Where do you think he should go next? Kamaldeen Sulemana to Atalanta. Thank you so much for joining me, Lukman.
You're welcome.
We'll see you guys in the next one. Enjoy the rest of your day.